Test 1 2, mic check 1 2. Test 1 2 3, thumbs up. Test 1 2, mic check 1 2. Do me a favor, let's test the other one too, just in case. Questions come from here. Test 1 2, good. Test 1 2, mic check 1 2. Test test. I'm going to turn it. This mic is on. Check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Okay, I'm gonna leave this mic hot.
Jeff, move to this side. We'll put the dock. I'll put you back here.
Okay. Thank you.
Put you right here.
Good evening. I'm here with Dr. Samuel Prater, an emergency room physician at Memorial Hermann. Thank you for being here, Dr. Prater. As well as Jason Ryan, the VP of Regulatory Services and Governmental Affairs at Centerpoint. Chief Christensen, our fire marshal, Jeff Linder, a meteorologist. I'll speak then in Spanish, then they will speak, and we'll all answer questions. The bottom line this evening is we're in for another long night. Our primary concern right now continues to be power. The state ERCOT power outages are hitting us so hard. I know what a nightmare it is for so many people. What a nightmare it is to be without power. It's not just cold, it's bitter cold, it's unbelievably miserable. I can tell you a lot of folks here have family in that situation. Same goes for my family and my loved ones. So it's very tough. The good news is there were 70,000 outages caused by weather in our region for Centerpoint. And now that number is down to 30,000. So they've been able to get those weather-caused outages repaired. And Jason will speak to this in a bit. The bad news is there continue to be 1.2 million customers without power due to the forced state ERCOT outages. That's roughly the same as yesterday, and that number has shifted a little bit. Centerpoint tells us they're open for business, they just need the product being that electricity. Right now, I'm focused on working with the state and federal level. I've fielded many calls from counterparts at the federal level, at the state level, collaborating, pushing for ERCOT to bring energy generation back up online so that we can get people the electricity they need, and I'm confident that folks are working on that. We've been hit hard, they need, and I'm confident that folks are working on that. We've been hit hard by nature this week. But we can't deny that some of this is a man-made disaster as well. And the 5 million residents of this county and really this region and this state will deserve answers from ERCOT and the state once this is over. We will push for that answer once this is over, but right now we have to focus on working together. In the meantime, I do say this both for myself and for every resident of this county. We need some clarity. I'm talking to counterparts across the state, and we're being told that generators are coming online only to be told more homes are losing power. ERCOT needs to stop being overly optimistic and give us the clarity of what the outlook really looks like. Not because I don't want to have optimism, but because I don't want to create false hopes. Every night since this started, we've seen less generation, not more. So let me give it to you straight, based on the visibility I have. Whether you have power or not right now, there's a possibility of power outages even beyond the length of this weather. There's a generation shortfall right now, and it's a matter of when ERCOT is going to get that power up and running. So until we begin to see that their optimistic estimates actually pan out on more people, not fewer people without power, we have to assume the worst. let me take a minute to raise the alarm about carbon monoxide poisoning. And that's why Dr. Prater is here as well. Chief Christensen can speak to that. It is an incredibly crucial issue right now. It's heartbreaking. We've seen a flood of calls coming in reporting carbon monoxide poisoning. There have been at least 300 calls, whether that is to our fire marshal, the hospitals, the other jurisdictions. Those are the ones we know of. But these leaders tell me that the sense is that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's been at least 2 fatalities. A woman and her 8-year-old daughter this morning died due to carbon monoxide poisoning. And the truth of the matter is, this carbon monoxide poisoning is in many ways a disaster within a disaster. Please protect yourself and your family. Keep them safe. Much of these poisoning calls, the deaths, they're due to bringing grills into the house, turning cars on in garages, basically using outdoor equipment inside. You can use that equipment to stay warm. Just don't use it in your home. Keep it away from your home. Water is another hazard we're dealing with, so I'm going to talk about that briefly. The effect of frozen pipes and weather impacts are having an effect on water pressure. Check with your local utility district to see if there's a boiled water notice. We're getting reports at varying times. If you still have water, remember to preserve some. Don't be one of the folks that I've talked to recently who say, you know, I knew I was supposed to fill the bathtub, but I didn't get around to it, and now I don't have water. Make sure you preserve the water right now while you have it. Very quickly on the road safety. Roads are getting more dangerous again by the minute. What melted today is turning into ice again. If you are not home, get home and stay there. To be clear, the roads will continue to be dangerous into tomorrow. So don't plan to get up in the morning and get moving. We're going to have to wait until into the day, and we'll keep folks informed. We know that people did well over the past couple of days. The first responders continue to be surprised at the relatively low number of accidents. We only had 15 new major accidents, 15 reported to the sheriff's office today as of the latest report, which is actually a relatively small number given the size of our county. So let's keep it that way. I'll briefly touch on some of the activities we're engaging in. Of course, keeping up the warming shelters, helping coordinate across the different warming shelters, not just the county, but the city, other nonprofit organizations and folks who are trying to help. County facilities and buildings will be closed Wednesday and Thursday. On vaccinations, Harris County Public Health will contact folks on our wait list once they're able to administer vaccines safely again. They may be able to start administering some second doses and testing on Friday, but folks are already, will be contacted. Anybody who is contacted that can't make it will have an opportunity to reschedule once the weather passes and the power issues pass. So folks who've been selected out of the wait list don't have to worry that they're going to be put back into it. We're going to work through that, and our systems are set up for it. We're continuing to coordinate with our partners, be it from the grocery stores, be it from the state, law enforcement, the various jurisdictions within and surrounding Harris County, our congressional and state delegations. We're going to continue working together and looking out for any of these crises within the crisis. I know things look bleak, and we're going to be in for a long week. It's been a long week already. Many people are exhausted, but we'll get there. We're expecting some beautiful Southeast Texas weather this weekend into next week, so we've got that to look forward to, and we're going to continue working together to get through this. I just ask that you continue to protect yourself and your family by taking that personal responsibility when you're home, careful with the carbon monoxide poisoning, and of course, please don't be out and about driving right now. I will mention one more point. Is fires. We've seen some reports of fires, fire alarms going off. It is a many-fold increase in the fire alarm calls that we receive on a blue sky day, on a normal day. These fires many times are caused by just the impacts of the power outage. So the recommendation to the community is simply pay attention to those fire alarms. Don't just let it go off. Remember, you need to evacuate and make sure that it's okay, because we are seeing a lot more reports than we normally do. So I'll close with that. Let's stay on it. We're pushing for this power to come back on from the state ERCOT system. We're working here. We'll be here all night again. You've got very committed first responders looking out for you, and we've got a tough and resilient community. So we'll keep getting through this. We'll hear, or actually, let me repeat my remarks in Spanish, and then we'll hear from Dr. Prater and Mr. Ryan. Vamos a tener otra noche muy larga esta noche en el condado Harris y realmente a través de la región. Nuestra principal preocupación en este momento continúa siendo la electricidad. Los apagones del sistema ERCOT estatal nos están impactando horriblemente. Sabemos que es una pesadilla estar en casa en este momento sin energía. Sabemos que está haciendo no solo frío, sino un frío intenso y es increíblemente terrible. Muchos de los trabajadores aquí tienen familia que están pasando por esta situación. Mi propia familia está pasando por esta situación. Es un reto que nos tiene a todos muy preocupados, muy estresados con ese frío, pero hay que seguir luchando. Las buenas noticias es que habían más de 70,000 apagones causados por el clima el día de ayer y de esos ahora solamente quedan 30,000. Entonces, Centerpoint está trabajando para corregir, traer nuevamente la energía, la luz a esas áreas que se les ha ido la luz, no por la orden del Estado, sino porque se haya caído una estructura de luz. Las malas noticias es que aún hay 1.2 millones de hogares sin energía debido a las órdenes de la agencia estatal de ERCOT que les está pidiendo a Centerpoint que quite esa energía para poder mantener la estabilidad de la red eléctrica estatal. Ese número es alrededor de la misma cantidad del día de ayer. Centerpoint nos dice que ellos están listos para trabajar, tienen el equipo para distribuir esa energía, solo necesitan el producto, necesitan la energía por parte del Estado. En este momento estoy enfocada, trabajando con el Estado, el gobierno federal, colaborando para empujar a ERCOT que incremente la generación de esa energía, para que podamos darle la electricidad a
All right, we've been lost her microphone. She's been giving us an update on Harris County's response to the winter storm.
Judge Hidalgo being very direct in regards to power and ERCOT's response. She's calling on ERCOT to be more transparent. She says she and other leaders have been told generators are coming online, but are finding more homes are losing power. Hidalgo says assume the worst, whether you have power right now or not. Also addressed another crisis, talking about carbon monoxide and the dangers there. At least 300 carbon monoxide calls have been reported to Harris County with at least 2 deaths. She called it a disaster within a disaster. She's urging people to please not use any equipment inside to stay warm, talking about generators and charcoal grills and the like. Water is another problem. Frozen pipes are impacting water pressure and supply. You can check with your utility district, she said, if you were seeing problems there. That's the latest need to know info from Harris County. We are monitoring them closely and will continue to bring you the latest from them. All right.
This portion of the news is sponsored by John Moore Services.
Saving thousands at West Point GMC Buick's month-long President's Sale is effortless. Get a new 2020 Buick Encore only $16,900 or 0% for 72 months. Doing everything in our power to get you rolling in an hour. West Point GMC Buick on the Katy Freeway.
Let's hold the line. Protect it. Fight for it. Sacrifice